Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. I've got a lovely hour planned for you. Might go just over the hour. I've got lots and lots to do. If you joined me this morning, thank you very much. It was a great show this morning, and many of you have already taken advantage of our fantastic up to 65% off on our fresh cut dyes. So I can see we've got some eyes in the room already. The lovely Gracie, all the way over in New York, is in the room to help. So if you've got any questions, she's there. If she's unsure of the answer, then she'll drop me a text message and I'll answer it if I can. So good afternoon, Hazel. Long time no hear. I hope you and Steve are well. So once I start seeing the chat coming in, there we go. Gracie's in the room. There's always a time delay from when I'm talking and when it transmits. So all is good. Thank you very much, Grace. So yes, so we had a great hour this morning. I'm going to do a giveaway during the course of this hour as well. And if you tuned in for the first time today, just so you know, Barb is still feeling a little bit unwell. She's at home resting up, and Mr. Dave is there looking after her. So thank you for all the warm wishes. I know it's been all over our Facebook pages, and Barb's been checking in on those. So thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. And she'll be back with us very, very soon. So what are we doing this afternoon? Up to 65% off on our fresh cut dyes. The whole range. Some are 35, some are 65, and some really special offers. And that will run until midnight on Sunday. So maybe you're tuning in later on, maybe you're not joining in live, but you're still between. So Sunday the 31st of August at midnight, that's when all the prices will change. But before we go any further, something that proved really, really popular is the 12 by 12 paper. Okay. I found a box yesterday when I was walking around the warehouse. Oh, wrong button. Got so many different. There it is. That one. On the I found one box and item number 30746. There are 2 left. That's it. And once that's gone, that has gone. Some of you, I was looking at the orders in between the show. Some of you putting 2 in their baskets and checking out. So if you're doing that, then it's buy one, get one free at that price. So I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. If you were sitting on the fence, now would be the perfect time to take advantage of that. Now, what I wanted to do, I did it during the 10 o'clock show. I just wanted to show you around the website on how you can order. Obviously, you can order from the website below, which is claritycrafts.com. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. It's a shop that doesn't close. Alternatively, if you'd like to speak to someone when you place an order, you can give the office a call on 01732 868 215, and we're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m., where lovely Sue or Jazz or Pete are there to help. So let's have a look at, oops, wrong button. Sometimes technology. There we go. I'm going to bring in the overhead just to talk you around the website a little bit. Maybe you're new to the Clarity family. So let me come in close. So I've got this on the iPad. I've got it in landscape mode because it looks slightly different if I go portrait. And this is the same as the phone. Except, let's just do that. There we go. So when we bring you Clarity TV, what we do is we create what we call a show page. And it's this little button here that says Clarity TV shop. So the items I'm featuring in this hour and the 10 o'clock show, you will find in here. So you'll find all the offers. If I scroll down, there we go. We've got some fantastic fresh cut dyes. There's that 12 by 12. That's still there. Otherwise it would say sold out. So that is, oh, sticker books. definitely worth going for sticker books if you're going with the fresh cut dies. What else have we got? I can't remember what I put in here now. Card blanks and envelopes. And rub-on transfers. Yes. Quick and easy sentiments. And the petite toppers, 5x7. Perfect. Low tack tape. Fantastic when using with your dies. Then what I always tend to do, catch up and craft. Any of our previous shows, if you click on there, then what you will find are all of our previous episodes of Clarity Social TV. And you can see it goes back and it goes back and it goes back. And then what we do is we consolidate them. So you can watch there, but underneath, so for example, if you wanted to watch back the 10 o'clock show this morning, I can click there. And when the internet starts working, I can see what I did at 10 o'clock this morning. And if I click shop the show, I can click there and it will give me a list of everything that was in that show. Okay. Now, what else have we got on our website on the front? Barb's Bargains. Okay. Come on, finish loading. That will appear down here, just like so. Go into Barb's Bargains, and we update this on a regular basis, and half price, plus your club discount as well. Okay, so that might be worth checking out. Then if I go back to the home page, when we bring you new products, they automatically get added into the new product section. So what have we had recently? Those lovely stamp sets from Tina Cox. Then if we do new bundles, they also appear in there by default. And then last week while we were at the retreats, we took delivery of the new mini Distress Oxide ink pads. So there are 6 different options, and then you've got a little storage tin as well. So if you went for all 6, you would need 2 of those little tins. And then, our fantastic personalised stamps as well. And the I Am Essential birthday and Christmas sentiments, which will also work perfectly with our fresh cut dies as well. So that's just a little guided tour of the website if you're new to the Clarity family. Now, where do I start? Right, okay. I'm going to do a giveaway during this hour. The lovely Betty Bullock, she won during the 10 o'clock show. So I'm going to make a card or 2. And later on, I'll tell you what to put in the chat. And then we'll choose a winner at the end. And that person will receive the card. Now, if you decide to purchase as a result of watching Clarity Social TV, just when you get to the checkout, so you loaded up your basket, you're about to check out, there's a comments box. Just put Paul made me do it. Okay. And then between all of the live shows, all the way through until midnight Sunday, when the offer ends, I will choose a name at random. Whoever puts that, you have to put it in the comments though. Paul made me do it. It always makes me chuckle when I print off the orders. And then I will choose a name at random and send you a £10 Clarity gift voucher, which you can use on a future purchase. And I tell you what, next week, oh my goodness, we kick off our 32nd birthday celebrations next week. So that £10 voucher may definitely be worth having a go for. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to bring up some full screen graphics to show what we've got in this particular hour. Now, these proved really popular in the last hour. Item number 30890. This is Leonie Pujols Nested Heart and Square Scribbles die set. Normally £39.98. You have a 65% saving on this, bringing it down to £13.99. Now, if you belong to any of our craft clubs, for example, if you're a Diamond Club member, you'll get an additional 15% off that, which brings it down to £11.89. Wow, okay. So they were popular. These ones, I know. I've got to be careful now, all the Fs. Item number 30911, Floral, Forest and Flourish Aperture Die Duo. £13.99 saving, bringing it down to £25.99. Then we had our Heart Aperture Trio. This one has 65% off, saving £29.24, bringing it down to £15.74. I wonder whether we've got any of that. I'm going to do the paper. 30746, half price, £9.99. Then, what else have I got to show you? Let me have a look. Okay, these are sort of like your everyday essentials. Nested tags and plaques, fresh cut die collection. Item number 31130, 64.97 saving, bringing it down to £34.98 plus your club discount. Then we into our cats. The Comfy Cat Trio Aperture Fresh Cut Die Collection. Item number 30984. Now you're going to get two 4x4, or they're just under that, I think, just under the 4x4 aperture dies. And then you get our lovely Quarterette dies. And I've got some other Quarterette dies on the show. If you're into your mini makes, then the Quarterette dies are perfect for that. If you're into your dogs, then we have the Best Friend Dogs Trio, item number 30985, £15.74. Then we have, these are nice. These are our Doodle Frame It's Border Die Collection. I'll show you these during this hour. £27.99 saving, bringing it down to £51.97. Then we've got, okay, Mini Mandalas. This is the Christmas collection. Okay, now you're going to get 4 of these beautiful dies, and I've got some display boards to show you exactly how they work. Maybe this is the first time you've seen them. Item number 31333, £13.99, £25.97 saving. Then we have the rings, item number 31331. Then we have the squares, item number 31332. And then something a little bit different. This is what we call our overlay dies. So this collection, you'll see you've got 2 4x4 dies, and then you have, well, they're 3.85 dies, and then you've got the Quarterettes, which are 4 individual dies, which are 2-inch square. £29.23 saving, £15.74. These are marvelous dies. Then we have the Geometric collection, item number 31006. Third in the collection, the Structured Trio, 31007. And then finally in that range, we then have the Swirls and Doily Overlay Trio Aperture Collection, £29.23 saving, bringing it down to £15.74. So that's a bit of a taster of what's coming up. And I reckon I'm going to start with the overlays. Okay, so let me bring some details up for you. I'm going to start with the fabric collection. Okay, so details on the side of your screen, 31005. And let me just gather up and show you exactly how they work. Right, okay. You know it's going to be the one at the bottom, don't you? Fabric. Okay. Where's it gone? There it is. No, that one. Where have they disappeared to? There they are. Fabric. Try and organize. Doesn't work. Okay. So let's have a look. You've got 3.85, 3.85, and the Quarterettes, which are 2-inch squares. Okay, so you can see you've got the smaller version of this one and that one, and then you have these two here. So when I turn it over, you've got 4 individual little dies. So these are perfect for your mini makes. If you want a quick and easy card, then these are great. Okay. Now, why do we call them overlay dies? So they work exactly as a die to create these lovely backgrounds, and they're aperture dies, so they cut straight into the card. Okay, but if you overlay one on top of the other, then you get a completely different look. So you can see here we've done it with the larger ones and then the smaller ones. So item number on the screen, 31005. And let me show you a couple of pieces of artwork. So this is from Dee Paramore. So the purple is this one in the background. And then the lime green on top is this one. Okay. This is just using the quarterets down the side, just using 3 of them. This one is using this one here, and it's just been tessellated like so. And then this is one that I created. So I just took if I turn it that way, you can see you've got the cut beautifully into a card. And then I've just used the little quarteret one on top. Let me zoom in on that one. It's going to be too close. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, that one there. So you can see I've used the larger die to cut into the card. I've used some of our companion paper and then the little quarteret one in the middle. Okay, so that is your fabric collection. So let me zoom out on that one. Which one do I have next? So the next one is the geometric. Okay, let's have a look. I think it's nice just to sometimes revisit the collections, because maybe you're a first time tuning in. So let's swap that one out. So it's the same principle. You've got 2 of the larger dies, and then you have your little quarterets. And then this is what it looks like when you overlay them, if that's what you decide to do. This one's quite nice. I like the square blocky one. And then you've got the sort of chain effect. They've probably got vertical twists and the framework, square framework. Okay, so that is that. And then we have a look at some artwork. This is from Sarah Brennan. She's used the little quarterets. Then Sarah Brennan again, she's used the larger ones, like so. This one here, Jane Telford. So she's mixed and matched to create. So these are great sort of for masculine cards or young people's cards if you're unsure of what to do with those. Okay, so that was your geometric collection, item number 31006. Then we're going to move on to the structured. Okay. Do I have a favorite? Sort of. I do. Right, hang on. Let me have a look. Structured. Bring this one in. This desk is a mess. It really is. So you've got your 2 larger ones, and then you've got your little quarterets. And then when you overlay them, like so, you get a really nice look to them. And I'll just find the artwork for that one. Making a real... So this is where we've taken 2 of them and overlaid them, like so. This one's nice. Then on this one, we've cut into, and we've got a lovely inset. Is that I thought that might have been the 12 by 12 inside. This one is from Julie Dunn. I think it's quite nice, just a panel. Oh, this one's funky. Dee Paramore. Wow. Look at that. I'm just trying to work out how she's done it. Oh, these bits here are the waist. Clever. And that's the little quarteret. So you've got the little quarteret there. And then this one is the waist from there. Clever. Oh, I like that one. Nice. So that's your structured 31005. And then the fourth one in the collection is your swirls and doilies. So let's have a look at this. So you've got your rings pattern, then you've got your swirls, and then finally your quartet collection there. And then if I bring the overlay board, I love this one. It's sort of like a, whoops, focus, sort of Ooh La La, Moulin Rouge. And this really does show it off. There's no name on this one. There. This one is, oh, this must be one of mine. So that's using the larger one with our designer papers. This is another of mine, overlaying the designer papers on top. And I reckon this one, yeah, look at that. Dee Paramore. So she's die cut the swirls, this one, in white, and she's coloured in black to create that. Let me come in on this one. This is lovely. Woo, there we go. So yeah, so this is white, and then she's die cut and coloured, I'm guessing a black micron pen to colour in to do that one. Ooh, that's very okay. So let me just show you something, if I may. Okay, so let's go to that camera. And this is the same for all of the different collections. If I take, this one is from, where's it gone? It's from, okay, so this one is from the structured collection. Let's zoom out on that one. Okay, and I'll swap the details on the screen, but it will apply to all of them. Okay, so this is your structured collection 31007. If I take the two larger ones and I just die cut them onto our companion paper, you can see you've got a really nice background, haven't you? You could put a little topper on there. You could always snip out of the frame as well, because all of our dies have that snippability. But if I now take a white piece of card and I take that one, so all I've done is I've taken that design in this color, and then I've done the reverse. So if I pop that on top like so, so if I come in to there, so if I bring that over, so you can see now you've got a completely different look to the design. Use them independently and combine them. However, if I take the one from underneath, so if I put that on there like so, and then I take this one and lay it on top, you've got another different look. And I think it's great, especially with this one. So now you could put something on these circles because they're more open, whereas when it was behind, like so, they're closed off. Does that make sense? Okay. It's been a long day. Okay, so that is the first collections I wanted to show you. Okay, now let's have a look. Mini mandalas. Okay. Mini mandalas, we have the three different options. We have the Christmas version. We then have the rings collection, and we also have the squares collection. Okay, so I'm going to start with the rings. So let me just find those on the side. Here we go. And I'm going to go back to the overhead, like so. So what's great about these dies is that when you cut them out, so I keep all of mine in one of our fresh cut folders. Okay, so all of these are individual dies, and all the bits I've got, all my spare bits that I've cut out. And so if I need to make a quick and easy card, then I could just go to this, have a look at the design, pull out some pieces, and job's done. Okay, because if I take, let me just take one out and show you. All of these, so for example, this one here, which is this particular die, so you can see, They're all individual. Okay, so excuse me. If I cut that one, that is what I'm going to get. If I introduce this one to the inside, like so, then what I'm going to get is this. So I'm going to get that, plus that, plus that. Okay, because all of them have a cutting edge on the inside and the outside. So on its own, I'll just get that. Okay, but then I'll get a lovely shape also. If I show you, I'll also get that. Cut that on its own, I'll get that, that, and that. Okay, so that's the waist. Technically, that's the waist. And it's the same with all of them. So you can see that's just from one of the die sets. And that works for all of the different rings in that collection. There's the second one in that. See, I think this is quite nice where you just interlay the different colors. So that's rings number 2. Then we've got ring number 3, like so. I mean, look, the waist. How decorative is that? Even that's the waist, that's the outside part. Makes a beautiful frame. Then we go on to the square collection. So let me bring the details up on there for you. Item number 31332. And what you'll notice, or may notice, is that the patterns on the circle are the same patterns on the squares, just a different shape. There we go, so you can see that there. Then, same format. I love this little, it's quite sort of Moroccan in style. Then we've got square number 2, and say all of these are available individually as well. They're normally $9.99, and there's 35% off them individually. But if you go for the whole collection of 4, it's a 65% saving. Plus, you also get your club discount as well. Then we go on to the square set number 4, like so. And now we move into the Christmas. And the reason we called this the Christmas collection, it was more, I think it was more about the star in the design. And I've just chosen some traditional Christmas colors on that. Okay. And then we've got a circle one as well. And then look at that star. I really like that one. So that's your Christmas number 3. And then you've got a different star as well. Okay, so that is what we call the Christmas collection, and I'm going to swap the details on the screen for that one. Okay, so that's that. Let me show you some artwork. Okay, this is like pile it all over the other side. Ooh. Okay, these are, if you're into your mini makes and you're looking for quick and easy, get a folder, the Fresh Cut folder. It's on the show page, and put your dies in there. And then, because you're not going to use, you may not use all the different parts. So then, just put all the bits that you don't use behind the corresponding die, so that if you wanted to, then you go, right, I've already got that. I only want to use that little frame there, so I've already got it cut. Or I just want that circular bit. It's all in there. And so the storage folder is a great way of storing your fresh cut dies. Okay. Now, this is from the Christmas collection. So I think this was one that I created. Possibly, there's no name on the back, but it looks familiar. So we've got the stars. This one is Dee Paramore. Then Deborah Wheeler. Look at that. Just using the little frame. And that's a Linda Williams stamp in the middle. Tina Morris. So which way does that go? Does it go that way? Or does it go that way? This is a Dee Paramore. Look at that. It looks as if it's embossed. And what, I mean, the time Dee's taken. She's die cut loads of the stars. It's like a plique. I don't know whether, let me come in on this camera to see whether we can, I'm going to go back to there for a minute. Well, zoom in, because I zoomed out earlier. Let me zoom in on that one and see. There we go. So if I bring that up, you might see it a little bit better. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It looks quilted. I mean, that is some patience, isn't it? That's not a mini make at all. So we've got that one. We've also got this one from Sheila Metzeler. So she's used the star to create the apertures. This one's from Andy Duggan. Somebody else had the same, Tina Morris had the same idea of the white on white. A little bit of Perga glitter on there. Linda Spencer. So this bit here is the waist, and she's used one of our word chain stamps. This one, Sheila Metzeler again. This is a long one, this one. It's the same die, but just at a different angle. Then Sarah Brennan, again, mixing and matching. And then finally, another one from Sarah Brennan, our little wee Christmas and our wee word chains. So that's your Christmas collection. Then let's have a look at the squares. So let's bring the squares up on the screen. Okay, swap that one out, put those over there. This one is from Glynis, gorgeous Glynis. This one, Linda Spencer. Ah, the Deerscape dies. This one, another one from Linda Spencer. This one, me. I created this one. Now, on the back of this one, it's got my old personalized stamp. I haven't played with my new ones yet. But look, I used a little frame around it to go around the outside. So it's all about the finishing, isn't it? This one here, Sarah Brennan. Another one, Sheila Metzeler. Tina Morris. See how Moroccan, well, I think it looks Moroccan. This one might be a me, not sure. This one, Deborah Wheeler. Build a scene within the frame. Doodle frame it, surround the outside. Debbie McMullen. That's pretty in the blue. I like that. Sheila Metzeler. So she's used it as a faux corner. And with our Christmas rounds, they're in the sale as well. Linda Spencer. Sheila Metzeler. So she's partial art and then just a panel in the middle, and that's one of our quote stamps. And then finally from the square, another one from Sheila as well. Very sort of tiled effect, isn't it? So that is your squares. And then we go on to the circles. This one is a me. I did this one. Loved working with these dies. They were gorgeous. Sarah Brennan. Jane Telford. Me again. So obviously just use different colors, didn't I? It's the same die, just different layouts. Elaine Milner. Me again. Do you reckon I like this one? Sarah Brennan. Sunshine. Little flowers. Debbie McMullen. Sonia Goodliff. Sarah Brennan. Debbie McMullen. Sarah Brennan. She liked these ones as well. And Elaine Milner. There we go. And that is your circle collection, or the rings, which are item number 31331. Right, I'm going to do a demo. Okay. Let's pop those to one side. So what I'm going to do, let me bring some detail. I'm going to go for, oh, there was another die I didn't share with you. This one's really nice. Just depending on your budget, this is the Just For You aperture die. Item number 31178. £3.50 saving, bringing it down to £6.49. Maybe you're looking for something just to tip the basket, So it goes over £35 to get your free shipping in the UK. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to go. I'm going to do a version of, let me see, this is, let's bring, where are we going? I'm going to go. Bear with me, I'll be there in a minute. I've got so many items on the show. Let's go there. Right, okay. I'm going to do a version of this. So this combines our lovely tag dies, which we also have in the sale. And if I remember rightly, the tag dies, I think they've got 65% off. Yes, 65% off. And what I did, I created a little card blank with that. And then I've used the Just For You die as well. Okay. Which is this lovely little die here, which is the aperture die. And what I've done, I've taken it out of the frame. So I'm going to grab, I mean, I could do this with any of the mini mandalas. So since I've got this one here, the rings one, I'm going to go for this one. Okay. And what we're going to do is, I've got a piece of card. So let's pop this to one side. And I'm going to cut these all out at the same time. Okay. Now, because I want them positioned centrally, this is the only time I really use the magnetic sheet. And I now need to remember die cutting side up. Otherwise, we'll have very decorative magnets. How do we know this? Who at home has cut through their magnetic sheets? I know, we all have, haven't we? Right, let's have a look. Right. I'm going to pop a piece of paper on top of my magnetic sheet. That's underneath, so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So that is now being held in place. Then I'm going to take the next one. I find using the magnetic sheet for this, for the positioning, a lot easier than trying to do it face down with the low tack tape. I just find, for me, it's what works. That one's going to pop in the middle, like so. Okay, there we go. I'm happy with that. And what we're going to do, we're going to take, where's that black piece of card gone? Hello, where are you? The gremlins have kicked in. Where is? Come on, answers on a postcard. There it is. It's stuck, static. So now I'm going to pop that in there. It doesn't matter if it's not right in the middle. What I want is the effect of it to cut it out so I've got an equal frame all the way around. That goes on top there. And then we're going to run that through the die cutting machine. Now, all of our dies have that special Teflon coating, so it makes for easy release. Sometimes, depending on what you're cutting out, I often find a tumble dry sheet, if you wipe over the die, then that can make a difference. I know my machine and its pressure points and its weak points. Sometimes if it's a really detailed die, and I know that maybe I've had issues in the past because what I'm cutting out is very thick, then I would just run it straight through again. But I know on this, I don't need to. So let's have a look. So we're going to open up our sandwich. Look, there's the die. There is the die, completely empty. And I freaked then. I think, did I not put the card in? That die is ready to go back on its carrier sheet. Okay. So then I'm going to bring in, let me just show you. So I've got, actually, let's take a piece of copy paper on there. So I've got my lovely outer frame. Let me zoom out on this. So I've got my outer frame. Okay. Then I've got the inner frame. There's a few little bits in there that I tend to flick, but I'm just going to get those little bits out. They're not stuck, they're just, because it's so small, it's just being held in place. One more there. Okay, so I've got that bit, I've got that bit. Then technically I've got the waist, which is very pretty. It reminds me of a little flower. Then I've got this one from here. Then I've even got the tiny little bit in the middle. Now this is really sort of tiny and detailed. So all I'm going to do now is bring this in. I think having a lid like this, it just helps with the mess. Okay. And then I also find if you're using a little brush like this, you do it on the back of the die, or your die cut. Okay, so I've got that bit now, so I can pop that there. And then on this one, so you could also take some super foam, and you could do this on the super foam as well. That's a really nifty little trick. Okay, and the design on this is, and what I'm doing here, what I've got, one piece of card, and I've got all of these pieces. So if I take that like so, so I've got that, 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 that, and that from one die. So I'm going to zoom in close now so we can really have a look at this. Because often you'll get a die, so it can only do one thing. So if I come in close and I'll move it around. So we've got the outer frame from here. Then we've got what I want to use, the little dies, a couple of little bits. No, one little bit left in there. That's fine. Then I come up. Then I've got this bit that came out inside. Then this one came out of there. That one came out of there. That came out of there, and that came out of there. All usable. So if you've got some favorite cardstock or paper and you really want to get the most out of it, these dies are great for that, because you've got, and then you take your folder and the bits you don't use, you then pop in there for another project. Okay, so let's have a look. What am I going to do? Let's do some assembly. So we'll zoom out on that one, zoom out, and I'm going to give this card away. Okay, and because we're basing it on this one, which is the Just For You, what I would like you to do, if you'd like to be with a chance to win this little card, okay, what I want you to do is put Just For You in the chat. Okay, so whether you're on Facebook or whether you're watching on YouTube, just put Just For You, because it all feeds through to the same stream here in the studio. And at the end of the hour, I will then choose a name, and that person will win the card. Okay, and don't forget, if I have tempted you, because I know I'm terrible at tempting you. We had the open days and the summer retreats, and people come and say, "Oh, it's your fault you made me buy it. It's your fault." I don't mind taking the blame. If it keeps you happy and it keeps you out of trouble, then bring the blame on. That's all I can say. Okay. All right, let's zoom out there, zoom in there. Now, what I've done, I've taken a piece of our lovely, this is I had some spare of the old companion papers. So I'm going to go green, I think, just for this particular project. And then what I've done, I've taken the Just For You die. So if I bring those details up onto, I love this little die. Some of these little single standalone dies are just great for quick and easy cards. So let me find it on there, number 8, 7, 8. There we go, 31178. And this cuts out into the card itself. So for example, if I show you this, you can see it cuts just like so. Okay, so you've got like your positive and your negative. This was a little sort of easel card that I created. Okay, so I've cut that out of another piece of black card, and then I've removed the frame like so. Okay, so that's going to go on there, and then I can decide what I want to put on the top. So I've got that bit. So if I use every other one, then I could go like so, and I could go like so. Okay, so that is one option. Alternatively, I could use the waist. Okay, so I could take that one. I can take that one. And then I could take the little bit that comes out the middle. So in a way, I've got a twofer, haven't I? 2 for 1. So I could do one with that part, and I could do another one with the other pieces, like so. Okay, I'm going to go for the nice decorative one because I'm going to be giving this away. So what we're going to do now, what I'm going to do now is I've taken a black card and I've just trimmed it down, and I'm going to attach that to the front. Okay, so I'm going to use our tape runners along the edge, and that is going to sit just in the middle, like so. Then I'm going to pop that on there. Now this is a lovely delicate little die, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my Perga glue, which is currently stored in my pot holder. Okay, so this is great. So the glue can be stored upside down. I've got my sticky ink, I've got my dorsal oil, but I've got my glue good to go. Okay, so you can find those on the website. And what we're going to do, we're going to go on the back, and it's got a fantastic fine. When you get your Perga glue, I'm going to come in close on this. Hang on. When you get your Perga glue, okay, it's sealed. So what you want to do is just snip the very tip of it. If you snip further down, you'll just get a larger opening. So it depends what projects you want to do. But if you're working with something fine and detailed like this, then you want a really fine tip on there. Okay, so now I'm going to just do some little dots of glue, like I say, because we don't want the blancmange effect, not blancmange, the mayonnaise blancmange. Don't put blancmange in a sandwich, do you? Put mayonnaise in a sandwich and you put too much in and you squeeze, then it squeezes all out the side. So let's zoom out on that one. I'm going to take that. That is going to go at the bottom. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap so that it doesn't blend into thing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to press that main area just there, and then I'm going to turn over and apply the pressure on the back. Because it is so delicate, what I don't want to do is use my fingers, my chunky fingers, do that and it catches and everything else. Now you can see a little bit of glue there, that will dry clear. So then I'm going to, there was one little bit in there, wasn't there? I need to get that bit out. There we go, that one there. Just like so. And then I'm going to take my Perga glue again, which is perfect for these delicate little mini mandalas. So if you've gone just for the rings, then you've got 4 different options. And if you're going to do something like what I'm doing here, then you've got the waist as well. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on there, and then while I'm positioning that one, I can put some glue on here, even finer areas, like so. Okay, there we go. Just there. And look, even this tiny little one. Knew I should have brought my glasses in, but it doesn't need much. Okay, I'll pop my cap back on my lid. So it's got a screw lid. That goes back in my pot. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to pop that just on there, like so. Just press gently. And it's a fantastic glue, especially for such detailed little dies, as well as being great for your parchment craft as well, because it also gives you a little bit of wiggle room for your positioning. Okay, and then finally the little centerpiece, and I'm going to pop that just in the middle. See, just using two colors. Maybe you've got loads of scraps of paper, and then I'm going to do my usual trick, turn it over and rub on the back. Okay, so turn that over. So now I have a variation. You can create using our tags to create a tag shaped card, or even a tag itself. It's entirely up to you, or just creating a tool. But that could be a little square card. It's all about having the choices, isn't it? Okay, so they're both from the rings collection. So I'm going to bring those details up for you on the side of the screen, item number 31331. And you know what? I'm going to go back to my folder like so, and I use the die from the front. So let's attach those back onto its carrier sheet like so. That's going to go back into my folder. This is rings number 1, so that goes at the front. And what I've got a little bag of all the little bits and pieces. So these are going to go in there. Even that tiny little bit is going to go in there, ready for the next project. So you could have a folder like this if you've gone, excuse me, maybe you've gone for all three of the little mini mandalas, then this houses all of them, and you've also still got space for another 2. So there's 14 pockets in the folder. Okay, so what mustn't forget, where did that one come from? Let me have a look. That's that one, so I'm going to pop that in there. I will be giving that card away, so I hope you've been saying just for you in the chat, and I will choose a winner. Now there's a couple of other dies I want to share with you as well. Okay, pop those over there. Okay, right, I'm going to go for these. I know, I always say everything's gorgeous, everything's lovely, everything's lovely, but it really is. And for me, with dies, they're quick. They can be quick and easy. If you could make loads of cards, leave them blank, and then personalize them as and when you want. I often have an afternoon of just die cutting, and then especially with the mandalas, putting all those pieces in there, because they're only tiny. All your scraps of paper, you could die cut all those and just build up a folder, so that if you think, oh, I need a card, I know I've got all those cut out. So what I want to share with you now, let's bring some details up on the screen. These are the Doodle Frame It's. Many of you may be familiar with the Doodle Frame It collection, because it started off with, these are doodles that Barbara doodled, okay? And they started off as borders, but we turned them into circles, ovals, rectangles, squares, okay? Now, in this collection, item number 31302, you've got a saving of £27.99, bringing it down to £51.97. There's, what have we got? We've got 4 different sets of dies. Okay. Now, 2 of them, one of them is an embedder, one of them is an edger, and then the other 2 are panels. Okay. And you're thinking, What is he going on about? What's the difference? Well, I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, they are all available individually. So let me get myself sorted. Right, let me bring the details up on the side of the screen, and that is item number 14. There we go. Are you there? Is anyone still there? Yeah, good. Thank you for keeping me company this hour. Okay. If you're looking for finishing touches to your cards, these are ones that can really sort of just lift it and make a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to go to that one. Okay, so just like so. So if I show you, this is the edges. I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, so the Edger collection is... Oh, goodness me. Okay, so we've got a question come in from the lovely Lisa Gray. No connection to Barbara Gray or Grace Gray. Is Clarity going to continue selling the fresh cut die folders or just the 8x8? Now, because of the way things are working in the world generally, we have got a shipment of the 8x8s. They're literally on the water. They will be the only folders that we will continue with going forward, because of the costs, and then it's all to do with what's going on in America and the duties and everything else. So they will be back in stock imminently, but all the other folders, once they have gone, they have gone. So if you're looking to, if your budget allows, then you want to stockpile some of the folders, for example, like the fresh cut ones that Lisa's asking about. Once the fresh cut folders have gone, they have gone. There's no current plans to restock any of the folders, with the exception of the 8x8 folders. And the reason being is because the 8x8 has many different uses, from the designer papers, the parchment, the BOWOB papers, and I know we've got a lot in the pipeline coming up that's going to be 8x8. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Lisa. Okay, so this is the edges. Okay, and when you take their individual dies, like so, and when you take the die, so I'm going to take this one here, the other one's vanished, like so, and I take the edge of a card and I put that on the edge of the card, then what it does is it cuts off the excess. So for example, if this was my card, like so, and I pop that there, this will fall away. So it creates beautiful edges, as it says on the tin, to your project. Now you've got all these lovely designs. You've got your heart. I'm going to zoom in on this. We'll have a look at these in detail. Okay, so you've got your heart, you've got your scallop, you've got your film strip, you've got your scrolls, you've got your chevrons, you've got like your post box, you've got your dotted one, you've got your diamonds and dots, you've got your lattice, and then you've got your leaves. Okay, that is on one complete set of edges. Okay, so you can see they've got all of those on there. So that is that particular set. Then if I turn it round, we then have our panels. So it's the same designs. Okay, so these are the, this one is the Doodle Scallop panels. Okay, so what you get, it seems really weird. You get these two here are individual dies because they're standalone. Okay, and then you get what we call it's like a trio die. Okay, so when you run this die through your machine, let me do that. What you're going to get is this, this, and this. I'm going to come in on this. So this die will give you these three strips. Come on, focus. Focus, thank you. Yes, are you going to focus? Let me zoom out. Okay, so this one die will give you those 3 strips. If this is white and you did this in red, that will sit on top and the white would come through the open spaces. You can also take this and pop it behind there, or you could take that and pop it on top of there. So it's all about the layering. And it's the same then for this particular design. So that can sit on there. That can also sit on there as well. And then you've got the lovely foliage one. So you've got your solid decorative panel, die cut that in a different color, pop that on top, or that can sit on top of that as well. Okay, so that is your doodle scallop frame it panels. Then we have the heart one. So they're determined by the first die that comes on the, so this one here. So it's the same principle as before. You've got your hearts there, which is at one die that will give you 3 different strips. Then you've then got this one here is on 3 strips, and then these ones are all individual. I love the little film strip one. Okay, so that is that one. And then finally, we have what we call our aperture borders. So these will cut into the card. So I've got them all on one piece, but if I chose one of them, it would just cut into the card and leave the card exactly as it stands. So let me show you some artwork on this from the amazing design team. Now this is from Tina Morris. So she's created a lovely little tag book using those dies and some of our other dies. Oh, the little mini mandalas. But you can see the edge along this tag. She's created the edger along here to create the little folds. Okay. Then on parchment, these edges work beautifully down the edge of your parchment to create that layering effect. So we use the same one on the card itself, then we used it in the light pink, then we used it into a darker pink, and then this one here is the aperture because it's cut into the parchment but still stayed attached. This one is a work of art from Dee, okay? Dee has a lot of patience. So Dee took the heart aperture, this one here, cut it out, moved it down, cut it out, moved it down, all those times to create that amazing effect. This one here from Jane Telford, so this is where you can see the panels. The solid panel is in blue, and then the overlay is in the yellow. And then she's used the edges to create the frame along here. This is using the mini mandalas from there. And then these are the panels down the side. This, believe it or not, from Glynis is using the waist. So these black pieces are the waist that comes out. This is this is mad, isn't it? This comes out on one of the dies. I think it's the scallop one. It's on the, you probably can't see it. The waist in between there that falls away is done to create that. This one from Sarah Brennan, where they've been overlaid on top of one another. My favourite stamp set ever, the Special Day Sentiments. This one from Sheila Metzeler. Okay, so she's put the edges down the edge. She's used our doodle die panels around the outside. Poppets are gorgeous. This is using Debbie McMullen. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this one because Debbie has used the waist as well. This row here is, come on, focus, please focus. I'm not going to behave, are you, camera? Okay. So the beaded one is the actual design itself, but this is the waist. Okay, this here is the waist. This here is the waist. And then we've got our lovely funky foliage on there as well. Now this one, Tina Morris, look, this took a little bit of patience on this. Turn it around the right way. So she's used the edger along the edge of her card, but then she's also taken a thin piece of black card to create like a film strip effect, and then she's die cut the squares to create a proper photographic film strip. This one from Glynis, she's combined the edges with the panels on the parchment, like so. And then finally, this one from Sarah Brennan, she's combined both the edges on there and the panels. And because they're all the same design, because the same patterns fall between each of the die sets, then you can do that. You can create that same effect with the various different patterns. I can't believe what the time is. Where's today gone? Excuse me. I've got to choose a winner yet. I want to do a recap. I wonder if there's any of the 12 by 12 left. I know there was only 2 left when we came on earlier, because I checked. I thought, I know how many we started with, and once that has gone, it has gone. We will not be bringing back any of the 12 by 12 papers. Yeah. So, okay. I'll do a quick recap and then I'll jump into the chat, scroll back, see where you was all writing. What was it? Just for you? Just for you. Okay. Very quick recap. Item number 30890, Leonie Pujol's Nested Heart and Square Scribbles Dice Duet. £25.99 saving, bringing it down to £13.99. Then we looked at that during the 10 o'clock show. We also looked at these during the 10 o'clock show, item number 30911, the Floral Forest and Flourish Aperture. These are 5x5 aperture dies, £13.99 saving, bringing it down to £25.99. Then these were also looked at during the 10 o'clock show, the Hearts Aperture Trio, item number 31062, £29.24 saving, bringing it down to £15.74. Then we have the various different mandala collections. So we've got the Christmas 31333, £13.99, £25.97 saving. Then we have the rings, item number 31331, same savings on that one. Then we have the squares 31332, saving of £25.97, 65% saving. A lovely little standalone die, item number 31178, the Just For You Aperture die, £3.50 saving, bringing it down to £6.49. If there's any left, item number 30746, 12 by 12 Northern Lights designer, 12 designs, 4 of each, 48 sheets. Then some everyday essentials, the nested tags and plaques, item number 31130. Then these overlays, these were great. I really wanted to do something with these, but time. Item number 31005, 65% saving, £15.74. The Geometric Collection, 31006. The little quarterets are perfect for your mini makes. Then we have the Structured Pattern, 31007. Fourth one in that collection is the Swirls and Doily, item number 31008. Then we just had a look at the Doodle Frame Its Border die collection, item number 31302, saving £27.99, bringing the price down to £51.97. And all of these prices, if you're a club member, you also get your club discount on top. Then ones we didn't get to show off was the Comfy Cat Trio, item number 30984, £15.74. And finally, Best Friend Dogs, 30985. Okay, I'm going to go back. What do I reckon's been the most popular during this hour? I reckon it's going to be those. I reckon these are going to have been the most popular during this particular hour. So I'm just going to jump into the chat. I'm going to scroll back, and it was just for you. Wow, lots of just for you. I'm glad you're all joining the fun and taking part. Right, okay, I think I'm there. I'm going to turn around and scroll down and stop. And the winner is Debbie Gallon. Congratulations, Debbie. I'll get that card once I find where I put it. It's over there somewhere. And I'll get that out into the post either today or on Monday. If you've placed an order I'll pop it in with your order, so it just saves a little bit there. And if you have placed an order as a result of watching today's shows, then don't forget to put in the comments, Paul made me. And then at the end on Monday, once the offer because the offer runs until midnight on Sunday, the 31st of August, then I'll choose a name at random and I will give that person a £10 Clarity gift voucher. So thank you very much for your company, for sticking with me. I know I've gone slightly over, but it's Friday. Weather's not very nice. And at these prices, with your club discount as well, it's definitely worth me sharing my favourite picks. I mean, I could do another 4 or 5 hours. Really could. Thank you as always to lovely Gracie for helping out and feeding through all the comments and questions. Whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Don't forget to check out the Clarity Matters blog tomorrow for the Saturday share. I know Grace has great joy going over our social media pages and choosing some fantastic pieces of artwork. And I will say at present, we will be back with you on Monday. Yeah, all I would say is just watch this space and we'll see what happens. So enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.